Hey everyone, Ron Riccatelli, Regional Vice President, Cross Country Mortgage here in downtown Bel Air. I wanted to thank you for your time today, but more importantly, I wanted to talk to you real quick about something that is a game changer in this crazy market that we all are aware of. Here at Cross Country Mortgage, we offer the Cash Plus program. Imagine losing out to several other offers in this frustrating market. Imagine you place an offer on your dream home and it just so happens that you lose to a cash buyer who has tons of cash sitting around. Well, in certain situations, you may not have all of that cash available at your disposal. Well, when you write an offer utilizing the Cash Plus program, your offer is just as good as cash. What that means to you is that when you submit your offer, you're telling the seller that your offer utilizing conventional financing is backed with a cash deal. If we cannot close your loan at the settlement date that's written on your contract, Cross Country Mortgage will buy your deal in cash and then settle with you when your deal is ready for closing. It takes the guessing game out of which offer a seller is going to choose and can back it up with a cash deal directly from Cross Country Mortgage.
So what am I going to do in my retirement? Well, let me tell you. Sure, I'll miss the people. Will I miss the work? No! After 40 years of running companies, I am ready to play. I just got to figure out how I'm going to get all my playtime in before midnight. Well, I'm a golfer, I'm a traveler, I'm a sailor, I'm a gardener, and I'm a mahjong player. So let's let the fun begin. I'm grateful that I'll be able to retire and enjoy myself while I still can. Adios.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dave Stromberg, and I'm on the Education Committee for the Harford County Association of Realtors. I'm here today to tell you about some upcoming education items you need to know about. The first one deals with newly licensed people who have been licensed since October 1st of 2023, last year. You are special people in the eyes of the Real Estate Commission. And because of that, you have to take some special courses that you only need to take for your first renewal period, but you need to take those instead of the other courses that we offer. The association will be contacting you to make sure we know who you are and when you're available to take those courses. But if you're going to take any CE courses, before you do so, contact the association. Now, for the rest of you, we have some new special stuff for you too. So, upcoming in October will be some new laws that affect your real estate business. They deal with fair housing, they're going to deal with landlord-tenant issues, and most importantly, probably, they're going to deal with your license renewal process. So we want you to pay close attention to the courses we're going to offer and make sure that if you have any questions, you give us a call. 410-569-0750 is the office number, and we'll be happy to help you with any questions you have. Thanks.
Congratulations, and thank you for choosing Black Oak Title. My name is Steven Sokolov, and I'm the CEO and founder here. And it's our mission to deliver to you a professional, simple, and enjoyable real estate experience. So while you may not hear from us every single day, just know that as part of your real estate team, we are working diligently in the background to ensure that we get you to the settlement table. And we need one thing from you to get the ball rolling, and that is to set up your Qualia account. What's Qualia, you ask? Well, there's probably a link below in this email, but Qualia is an encrypted software that we use that protects our and your communication over the internet. Bottom line is, anytime we're sending you sensitive information, we're gonna send it through Qualia, not an email, and we ask that you do the same. And that's it. And again, we are super excited to be part of this real estate experience with you. If you have any questions whatsoever at any time, please don't hesitate to reach out. We want to be there. The number's right here below. We are so looking forward to seeing you at the settlement table. And again, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for choosing Black Oak Title.
Hey everyone, here at Cross Country Mortgage, we have a special product that we'd love to talk to you about. It's called the Buy Now, Sell Later program. Now, are you struggling being able to afford 2 mortgages at once because you just can't sell your house in time to be able to purchase a new one? Have you fallen in love with a home and realized that you couldn't write an offer on it because your current home has not sold yet? Well, here at Cross Country Mortgage, utilizing the Buy Now, Sell Later program, we will not count the mortgage of your current property against your debt-to-income ratio. What this means for you is that your offer goes in non-contingent the sale of your other home. It's a special product right here at Cross Country Mortgage and allows you to write an offer on your home without selling your other home first. Call me today and ask about how.
Hello members. As president, I'm thrilled to tell you about some major changes that will be taking place at our association. The strategy retreat that took place in April helped develop a pathway for a 5-year plan for the association. Thank you, board of directors, committee chairs, vice chairs, members, and staff that participated. We came up with some exciting ideas. Members, we heard you and updated how we'll communicate with you. The board of directors approved the hiring immediately of a social media and communication staff person. So stay tuned and be ready to receive communication more effectively. It's an honor to serve as your president.
Hey, Justin with Certified here to talk to you about chimney inspections. So you gave your realtor a wish list of things that you really wanted in this house, and maybe it was 3 bedrooms, and maybe it was 2 bathrooms, and maybe you wanted a walkout basement and a ½ acre, and backs to trees, so on and so forth. And maybe one of those things was, we really want a wood-burning fireplace. We're so excited. My grandpa had a wood-burning fireplace when I was a kid, and I just love the smell. We'd go over for Thanksgiving and Christmas and that sort of thing, and I just love that. I've always wanted one, and I really want one. And that is awesome. I have one and we absolutely love it. The ambiance of it, family gatherings and that sort of thing. But you are gonna have an open fire inside of your house. And that is not a joke. Making sure that we're gonna conduct that safely, use it properly, and that everything's gonna work the way it's supposed to is really important. So if you are looking at a home with a fireplace, and this could potentially include a gas fireplace as well, because there's some serious exhaust that comes from those, but especially a wood burning fireplace. And you don't want it to just be cosmetic, put some candles, maybe some books, HGTV style, but you really want to use it. Having a chimney inspection, what's called a level 2 camera inspection of the chimney, is really important. And that's basically where we will take a camera either from the firebox up through or from the roof down into to actually look at the interior of that flue to make sure that it's in good shape. We don't have any cracks or gaps or damaged tiles or missing tiles, an unlined chimney, so on and so forth. Now, the outside of the chimney is a part of your home inspection. Making sure the flashing looks good where it connects to the roof, and the condition of the crown, and whether you have a rain cap or not. Even the inside of that firebox, the condition of the fire brick and the damper, and those things are a part of your home inspection, and any home inspector is going to investigate those things quite thoroughly. But inside of that flue, inside of that tile, from the firebox on the first floor to 30 feet up where it leaves the roof, that's something that, unless your home inspector is really tiny, is not gonna be able to climb in and see. So we've got some specialized cameras and different equipment that we use to really check that out and investigate it to make sure it's in good shape. And guess what? Most of them are, but we want to check that out for you and make sure, because it can be very expensive to have a chimney professional come out and make repairs to the inside of a flue, as you can imagine, if you find out after the fact. So if you've been dreaming about a wood burning fireplace and you found the perfect house with one, make sure that you consider a level 2 camera inspection of that chimney to really investigate and make sure you can use it safely for a long time to come.
Hello, members. This message is bittersweet for me. I will be retiring on September 30th, 2024. August 5th, it will be 5 years when I started with this association, and it has flown by. I know I'm a short timer compared to Laura, who's been here 30 years, and Veronica, who's been here for 10 years. Wow. But the time has come that I hang up my hat after 40 years of managing companies. It has been an amazing journey with HarCAR. It will always hold a special place in my heart. The board of directors, committee members are heartfelt and sincere. I have been so fortunate to have a staff who gives me 100% every day. They work together as a team and always have the best interest of the association at heart. You are all family, and I will miss that interaction greatly. It is rare that you have 2 long-term senior staff that are as dedicated as Laura and Veronica. As Director of Operation, Laura keeps things in line, and her goal is always to take care of the association and the members and make sure they're happy. She loves her job, and she's always the glue that keeps us all together. The GAD, Veronica, has a strong presence in the political community in Harford County. She handles problems on a daily basis. Veronica had expressed her interest to me when I announced my retirement to the board of directors that she would be interested in the CEO position. The board of directors voted to move her into that position on October 1st, 2024. A 15-year career on Capitol Hill and a management position with Marriott has prepared her to take over the helm of the organization. People ask me every day, what am I going to do with myself when I retire? Well, I have prepared a short video that will give you a little glimpse of what I am planning to do in my retirement. I hope you enjoy it, because I sure will. It has been a pleasure and an honor to serve as your CEO. Thank you for that opportunity.
Hey everyone, Ron Riccatelli, Regional Vice President, Cross Country Mortgage. I'm coming to you today excited for what 2024 and beyond holds for myself and the Riccatelli team at Cross Country Mortgage. After moving to Harford County in November of 2021, it really is an honor to be able to become a partner with such an organization like the Harford County Association of Realtors. Having opened my branch in 2022 on downtown Bel Air on Main Street, right across from Sunny Day Cafe, which I'm sure all of you are very well familiar with, it's an honor to be aligned with an organization like the Harford County Association of Realtors. So again, on behalf of myself and the Riccatelli team at Cross Country Mortgage, thank you for allowing me to be a partner alongside you all on this journey to a better real estate transaction.
Hi, my name is Veronica Rollicutt, and for the last 10 years, I've had the pleasure to serve the association as your Government Affairs Director. But today, I want to thank the Harford County Board of Directors for selecting me as the new CEO for the Harford County Association of Realtors. I am honored beyond measure to take this position, and I look forward to serving you. Thank you so much.
Hey, Justin with Certified Property Inspection here again. So I'm going to paint a picture for you. You've been working with your awesome realtor to find a house, and you've been going to showings and checking stuff out, and they've been sending you listings, and finally you found the perfect house and you submitted an offer and you guys crossed your fingers and then you got that exciting phone call. Yes, the offer was accepted and we're gonna be able to get this house. Awesome. Your realtor is probably gonna say the next thing we gotta do is schedule our inspections. We wanna get an inspection company out there to check everything out for us to make sure everything looks good. And a lot of times folks kind of think about a home inspector and then the thinking sort of stops, right? But there's a lot of other parts of the house that need more investigation, need a little more thorough look than what would be encompassed in a home inspection. Now, as Jeff talked about in a previous video, a home inspector does a lot. Looks at the house top to bottom, inside and out, roof to foundation, the plumbing, the electrical, the HVAC system, you know, we check all the stuff inside the house. But some things aren't able to be seen without some more investigation. And one of those things is the main sewer drain. So this is the drain from the house that actually connects to the public system. If you're anywhere in town and you get a water and sewer bill, you have a main sewer drain. And guess what? Even though it's not inside your house, you still own it. And a lot of times, that thing isn't covered even under your insurance policy unless you add an extra rider. So it's always good to talk to your insurance folks to make sure that you've got the coverage that you need. But that thing that runs from your house to the public connection is your responsibility. And guess what? As home inspectors, no matter how thorough we are, we can't climb inside that pipe and take a look at it for you. However, there is a way that we can do that, and it's what we call a camera sewer inspection. So we'll find the clean out inside the house, we'll take that cap off. Sometimes we even need to remove a toilet because there is no accessible clean out in an older home. And then we have specialized cameras that we can send down there and we can actually investigate and look at the inside of that pipe. Because guess what? If your house is 75 years old, chances are that main sewer pipe is also 75 years old and it could be cast iron and starting to corrode. A lot of them are totally fine, but the ones that aren't, it can be a real problem for you. Was I supposed to be doing the chimney? So it just dawned on me that I was supposed to be talking about chimneys and not the main sewer camera inspection. Luckily for us, Jeff is here and he is going to tell us a story about a sewer problem that he actually experienced and can talk about the importance of checking out the main sewer drain. So Jeff, tell the folks what's going on.
So as you all know, I'm a home inspector, right? About 4 years ago, my wife and I bought a property because we were getting ready to downsize, and I took a gamble. That's what we do, especially during a home inspection, because I'm thinking, I know what's going on, no big deal. We got the house, it looks gorgeous, the whole shoot and match, and then we got in the house about 2 months, and up from the ground comes a bubbling crude. To be perfectly blunt, that's what's happening. I never scoped my sewer line because the way I looked at it, it was going out back. I could see where the sewer drain connection was all the way in the back. What I didn't take into account for was the big old maple tree that had been cut down about 20 years ago had destroyed a portion of what we call clay drain tile. I had a busted sewer line. Nobody knew it. The house had been vacant, the whole works. We started using it and the stuff that's supposed to go downhill wasn't going downhill. And so in it came. The long story short, it cost me $21,000 to fix this thing. We had to dig up a portion of our yard. I had to replace it with PVC. The stuff that was there and was really old, once I did take my camera and put down there, we had epoxy lined. So I'm not trying to sell you, or Justin, we're not trying to sell you on a sewer scope, but when houses get older, there are problems, just like anything. There's scale that goes on, there's pieces of clay that go on, tree roots get in there, maybe somebody drove over the back with a load of mulch and they cracked the pipe. So a sewer scope for me, and I had the equipment, that's the crazy part, I had the equipment and I didn't do it. Now I have a rider. For a couple $100 versus $21,000, it really might not be a bad idea if you have an aged home. So that's my story.
Yeah.
Cost me a lot of money.
And Jeff, we appreciate you sharing your personal story there. So most people, their main sewer pipe is totally fine. It's a very small percentage. Now, the older the home gets, that percentage probably gets a little bit bigger. But most people, if they decide that they want to have that sewer scope inspection performed at an additional fee, which Jeff talked about, most people we say, yep, everything looks good. But if you're one of the few people that we find it's not the way we want it to be, it can be, as Jeff kind of alluded, a very costly expense. So a couple of words of wisdom. If you're buying an older home, really any home, even PVC, but especially if you see cast iron going down through the basement floor, chances are that pipe's pretty old and the condition may be great, but it could be problematic. It's not a bad idea to talk to your inspector about whether they think it's appropriate to check that out or not. Understand that inside of that pipe is not something we can see during a home inspection, no matter how thorough we are. We've got to have specialized tools and equipment, and we've got to set up for it, and it is kind of something else that we want to do. So talk to your inspector about whether they think it's a good idea or not. If you decide not to do it, let's at least make sure that you talk to your insurance agent so that you have the coverage. God forbid something does go wrong, you pay a deductible, and you don't get stuck with a $21,000 bill. So that's the information on sewer scopes. Sorry about the little change of pace there. I was supposed to talk about chimneys and I kind of...
Hey everyone, good afternoon. Ron Riccatelli, Regional Vice President, Cross Country Mortgage. Have you been struggling to be able to reach your loan officer when it's a Saturday or even a Sunday and you drive by a home that you see a for sale sign and you just don't know whether you qualify for that home or not? If you're working with big banks who only work Monday through Friday, you're probably going to have a hard time reaching your loan officer to talk numbers, to be able to see whether your family qualifies for that home. Well, after doing this for 23 years, I pride myself on being available 7 days a week. If it's Sunday at 3 p.m., you need to know if you can qualify for a home, give me a call. If it's Saturday night at 9 p.m. and you just left dinner and you drove by and saw a house that had a for sale sign, give me a call. I'd be honored to help. Being in this business for as long as I have, customer service and transparency is how my business has become successful as it has. Again, it's an honor to serve you 7 days a week. It is not happy hour on Friday at 5 p.m. and I disappear for the weekend. I'm here 7 days a week to help you fulfill the dream of home ownership.
Are you interested in having a role in what happens here at HarCAR? Are you interested in exchanging ideas and perspectives with other volunteer leaders? Then you should join a committee.
The committee descriptions and volunteer application form can be found on the website. Please remember, whether you were a volunteer last year or a brand new member this year, we still need an application.
Remember, HarCAR's fiscal year starts October 1st, which means new committee rosters will be formed prior to that.
Justin with Certified Property Inspection here with our Senior Inspector, Jeff. Not senior like that, but senior like because he's been doing this for about 20 years. So, Jeff, we often get questions about, what we're going to do at a home inspection. What are you guys going to look at? How's it going to go? What are you doing, not doing, that sort of thing. So, can you tell the folks you had an inspection this morning, right?
Sure did.
Okay.
We had a lot of fun too.
We had an inspection this morning and we changed clothes. We did not shower. So I'm glad this is visual and not sensory. I want you to tell the folks kind of when you meet a client on site and you're explaining to them what you're going to do over the next 2 or 3 hours, kind of give them your spiel on kind of how that's going to go.
Absolutely. So I know this might sound crazy, but I love to ask my client what they do for a living because it helps me use analogies whenever possible when I'm explaining what's going on in a home in more understandable terms. But my second question to folks usually is, have you ever been to the doctor for a checkup? And they say, sure. I said, well, you're a healthcare professional. The moment they lay eyes on you, you start to think about what's going on. You're standing straight, your eyes clear, you got nail fungus, can you walk a straight line, can you speak intelligently? And then they get out the instruments and they poke and they prod and they look and they listen. And they hope everything's falling within normal parameters for your vintage, like me. I'm a little bit older, so there's some stuff, but then, young kids, we expect different things. So I do the same thing. The minute I drive into a neighborhood, I'm starting to look around to see what's happening. And then how the house is oriented. So I tell folks, your house is a living, breathing thing. It truly is. It expands and contracts. It breathes through the attic. Dermatology is the biggest organ on our body and protects everything that's going on inside. Well, that's our roof, our siding, our grading, our gutters. The structure of the house is kind of like orthopedics. Plumbing's a lot like cardiology, liquid in, liquid out, pressure held, pressure released. You know, pulmonology is your heart and lung doctor. I like to think it's mostly lungs. That's our heating and air conditioning system. Nobody knows how the brain and nerves work. That's neurology, right? Electricity. So as I'm going around the house, I'm checking and we're operating everything. Now, I gotta remind folks, this is kind of visual. I can't go tearing holes in walls, but we're gonna run everything the same way that you would to work your house. And if something doesn't come on, there's a super technical inspector man term for it, right, Justin?
It's broke.
It's broke. So, you know, as I'm going through, I'm making sure windows open and close properly, that they tilt in, that you can get out of the window, right? So we're concerned with structure, safety, and mechanical items. Sure, I'll see the chalkboard paint, and I'll see where the little boy punched a hole in the door. That's fine, or one doesn't latch quite right, but that's kind of normal homeowner maintenance stuff. And then as I'm going through, I might see something that's not too bad. I kind of call that if it were my house, I'd stuff. You know, the thing that your water heater's 15 years old, they're kind of designed for that long, so put that in your budget. Or, yeah, there's a little crack out here, but it's really not a big deal. In time, when you're doing the next spring, when you're going around, let's tighten that up. And then, of course, we have immediate action items, and those could be safety-oriented, like GFCIs that are missing right next to the kitchen sink. Or it could be, oh, that pipe is leaking. You got to get a plumber involved, or I go to turn the AC on right about this time of year and it doesn't work. So again, what we're concerned with is structure, safety, and mechanical stuff. And this may sound kind of squirrely, but not squirrely. But it's God's honest truth. When I inspect a house, I got 2 kids that are young adults. Would I let my child move in? Yes or no? And, you know, just be honest with folks about what the conditions are. And that's kind of what we do as we go through. But it is visual, so we can't go tearing holes in walls and things. We do our best, and I've got lots of experience of figuring things out. But that is what we do. Would I let my kid move in?
Jeff, that's super helpful. And you know, I just a couple of weeks ago, my daughter's best childhood friend. My daughter's in her late 20s now, and her childhood friend is buying her first house. My daughter's kind of at the age where her friends are starting to buy houses, and I went out to inspect my daughter's childhood best friend's house, who this kid spent nights at the house and vacations and all that sort of stuff. And it kind of dawned on me a couple days later, and I felt really good about it, that this is a personal, close friend, right? And I didn't inspect that house any different than I would any other house, right? Exactly. We do everything we can do the best we can to diagnose what's going on. I love the doctor analogy, kind of diagnosing what's going on and how the house works, but to really investigate, to figure out what's going on, and just share the information, make the best observations and assessments we can, and share the information so that our clients, like you guys, can make a really informed buying decision. And more importantly, just understand the house. At some point, you're going to own that house, you're going to go home, you're going to have keys, and you're going to need to know where stuff is. So that's really the goal. But Jeff, that was super helpful. I appreciate you helping us out.
What we do.
Hey members, we have a milestone to celebrate here at HarCAR.
The one,
The only,
Veronica Rollicutt, has reached her 10-year milestone anniversary with HarCAR.
Hey everyone, Ron Riccatelli, Regional Vice President, Cross Country Mortgage, with a quick public service announcement for you all. Are you scared? Are you torn between whether or not you can actually purchase a home in this crazy market because of what interest rates are, or what you saw on TV, or what your family friend told you about how crazy the process is of buying a home? Being scared is a normal feeling. Working with someone who can walk you through the process of beginning to end of what it takes to purchase a home in this market is key. Agents say it all the time. It matters who you work with, and that's not just for realtors. That is also for lenders. If you work with a lender who understands guidelines, understands the pressure of being on the other side as a buyer in this particular market, and someone who really cares about your process of obtaining a home or fulfilling the dream of home ownership, then look no further than myself and the Riccatelli team at Cross Country Mortgage. We are here to help you. We're here to walk you through each and every step of the process at your pace. Remember, we work for you, not the other way around. So this process should be taken seriously. You should align yourself with someone who actually cares about your process of buying a home. Don't be scared. Make the call, reach out, talk about your finances, and we'll be sure to put you on the right path towards home ownership at some point. Doesn't have to be now, doesn't have to be in 30 days. It can be in 6 months. But as long as we go at your pace and we accomplish what you are looking to do, that's a win for everyone.
Hello, members. In December, the Board of Directors approved for the association to embark on a strategy plan on how to move forward and engage our members. We hired Denise Vaughn to facilitate this process. From January to April, we reached out to our members via a membership survey, conducted not one but 2 focus groups, an all-day strategy retreat with the board, committee chair and vice chairs, and staff, plus a wrap-up meeting with Denise. Wow, members, your ideas, comments, and candors were instrumental in helping us move forward with this plan. We couldn't have done this without you. We can't wait to start implementing these changes, and we are really excited about the future of our association. President Sandra Hopkins has some exciting news for you, so please watch her video next.
Hi, I'm Laura Metz, Director of Operations here at HarCAR, and I'm here to tell you today that the industry awards are now available on our website. We are accepting applications for Affiliate of the Year, DEI Leadership Award, the Good Neighbor Award, Realtor of the Year, and the Life Achievement Award.
And hi, I'm Dave Stromberg, this year's Awards Committee Chair. We want to let you know that the applications are open to all members of the association. And guess what? You can nominate yourself. And remember that all award winners will be honored at our September annual meeting. So make sure you get your applications in by mid-June to be eligible for those awards. So,
Don't delay.
get it in today. Good. Jack says yes.
Hey everyone, Ron Riccatelli, Regional Vice President, Cross Country Mortgage. Are you scared about buying a home? Has your neighbor or your friend or the TV or the radio scared you away from even thinking about taking the first step to purchase a piece of real estate? If so, do yourself a favor. Reach out to myself and the Riccatelli team at Cross Country Mortgage, and we will walk you through the process of what it takes to purchase a piece of real estate in this market today. Do you think that you haven't saved enough money? Has somebody told you that you needed 20% down to be able to buy a house in this day and age? Are you aware that there are down payment assistance programs and programs that offer grant assistance that can cover all of your down payment and your closing costs? Do you think that you can purchase a piece of real estate without spending $1 of your own money? The answer to that is yes, you can. It's aligning yourself with a mortgage company like Cross Country Mortgage that will walk you through and advise you of every product that's available out there to take you away from being scared to being excited. Let's get excited together and let's talk about your future.
Hey, Justin with Certified Property Inspection here to talk about septics, your favorite subject. So we do septic inspections and have been doing them for a long time, but a lot of folks don't understand kind of the basics of how a septic system works and what it's all about. So I'll just take just a minute of your time to kind of explain that. So I like to think about a septic system like a bus stop system. Everything gets on the bus inside the house. Whether you flush the toilet, wash clothes, take a shower, wash dishes, everything's getting on the bus. The first stop in that system is the septic tank. Now at the septic tank, all of the solids that got on that bus get off, and that's their holding spot. things that sink in water, I'll let you use your imagination, and things that float on water, like grease, hair, wipes, that sort of stuff. So all of the solids get off the bus at stop 1, which is the septic tank. Stop 2 is the second part of the system that people really don't think about. And that's the effluent disposal area, or drain field, leach field, dry well. There's lots of different terminology, but basically all of that dirty water that got on the bus, which is most of the passengers on our bus in the first place, continue on to a system that's engineered to distribute that water underground. So when you look out, you just see yard, grass, and everything looks the same. But underneath is a system of trenches and perforated pipe and stone beds that basically will take that dirty water and distribute it out. And then Mother Nature does what she does best. She can absorb water, right? It rained a few days ago, and a couple days later, the soil's dry. But we don't want to send all of that dirty water into one spot to create a real mess in your yard. So we have this system over a large space to distribute that. So that's kind of the basics of how a septic system works. You have stop 1, the septic tank. We collect the solids. Now those solids don't go away. They do break down and decompose quite significantly over time, but it is important to have your septic tank pumped every maybe 2 to 3 years for most households, depending on sizing, but that's a pretty good rule of thumb. And you're basically just hitting the reset button. So over time, those solids accumulate in that tank, and then when we have the tank pumped, the waste hauler hauls all that stuff off, it's treated at the waste treatment plant, and then you've hit the reset button to then start accumulating those solids. Now stop 2, there is no pumping or draining. We're basically sending that out into a system that's designed to absorb that effluent over time and hopefully continue to work. Now keeping those solids in the tank is really important, so there's a couple rules of thumb. You want to have your system inspected every so often. About every 3 to 5 years is a good idea. There's what's called an outlet baffle, and the outlet baffle is what keeps the floating solids at stop 1 in the septic tank and prevents them from going out to stop 2 into our drain field. And that's where we have that perforated pipe and the stone trenches, and if we gum the works up out there with solids, we really have a problem. So the outlet baffle is what keeps those floating solids in the tank and keeps them from traveling out to stop 2. So making sure your baffle's in good shape and the tank's in good shape is really important, because a baffle that breaks today and is fixed tomorrow is no problem. A baffle that breaks today and isn't discovered for 10 or 15 years, that can create a real problem and become a very expensive issue to fix. So having an inspection every so often, making sure the baffle's in really good shape, and just a couple of do's and don'ts. You can wash clothes, you can use bleach, you can, live in the house with a septic system the way you normally would, but there are a couple things you don't want to do. Rule number 1 is don't go to the store and buy anything that says add this to your septic system. All of that stuff kind of disrupts the natural biomaterial and algae and bacteria system that Mother Nature has kind of developed over, I don't know, a billion or so years. And she's pretty good at it, so we want to leave that system alone. And adding a bunch of stuff that kind of disrupts that can be a real problem. So we would not suggest buying anything to add to your system. Eliminate anything that ends in the word wipe. I don't care what it starts with, septic safe, biodegradable, decomposable. Anything that ends in the word wipe is not a good idea. Those kind of accumulate over time, they don't break down, and they really can cause some problems. And then otherwise, minimizing grease inside the kitchen. If you're cooking bacon or sausage or anything like that, you can put it in the trash, use it in the garden, give it to the dog, whatever you want to do, but that grease layer can create what's called a scum layer inside the tank, and that can really cause some problems as well. So if we minimize grease, don't add anything to try to help it, don't use anything that starts with the word or ends with the word wipe, and then have your tank pumped every so often and inspected every so often, you're on the right track.
Hey everyone, Ron Riccatelli, Regional Vice President, Cross Country Mortgage. Do you know that since interest rates are high, and a lot of people are sometimes being forced into a mortgage because their situation requires them to actually purchase a piece of real estate? Well, utilizing Cross Country Mortgage's Buy Now, Refi Later program, if you purchase a piece of real estate with us and your interest rate obviously is higher than you'd like to spend, and interest rates fall at some point in the future, utilizing our Buy Now, Refi Later program, we actually will waive your processing and your underwriting fee to the tune of up to $1,500 when you refinance with Cross Country Mortgage down the road. So again, high mortgage rates are temporary. We do not know when they're going to fall. We do not have a crystal ball. We can't tell you exactly when that time will come. But when it does come, if you utilize our Buy Now, Refi Later program, you're instantly going to save up to $1,500 in advance when you do the Buy Now, Refi Later program with us. So call today and let's talk about your future.
Hi, I'm Tracy Tanko, President of the Harford County Association of Realtors Charitable and Educational Foundation. Today, we are at Mountain Branch. We hold 2 major fundraisers every year. This is our biggest event. It is a golf event. We have 84 golfers today, raising tons of money for this foundation. We are here to let you know that we are a 501c3 foundation. We offer scholarships to Harford County students seeking a degree with a Maryland college. We also provide scholarships to trade schools. Not only do we provide scholarships, we provide money to charities within Harford County. The Harford County Association of Realtors and the Harford County Association of Realtors Charitable and Educational Foundation work in conjunction with each other. So when the realtors raise money, they give it to us, we send it out. When we raise money, we send it out. So as realtors who live and breathe our community, who provide homes and new opportunities for people in our community, we then take those monies, take those funds, and we give back so that we are constantly growing and changing and evolving and making our community a better place. No. I don't know. Whatever Jesse tells me.
Hey, Justin with Certified, here to talk to you about radon. So a lot of folks just innocently ask, what is radon? What's the whole deal? You maybe heard about it or seen something on the news, or your real estate agent informed you, hey, we got the house under contract, you might want to think about radon testing. So what is radon? Short and sweet, radon is the earth trying to kill us. I think we've been trying to kill it for a long time and it's fighting back. No, but genuinely, so radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that emits from the earth. It's the decomposition of bedrock way down underground, and essentially this radioactive gas is emitted and kind of seeps up through the soil and eventually off to the atmosphere. It is lighter than our atmosphere, so it will eventually float away, but that's essentially what radon is. The EPA has done various studies over the last 20 or 30 years and kind of come to the conclusion that elevated radon exposure over a long period of time can be a cause of lung cancer. As a matter of fact, the EPA says it's one of the leading causes of lung cancer. So it's something that we should certainly be aware of and pay attention to. Now, the good news is that if you have high radon in your house, we don't have to tear the house down. There is a relatively straightforward fix called remediation or mitigation, where we basically create a bypass. If you've ever been on a highway and there's a bypass to go around a town, we're basically creating a bypass around the house. So we're taking that gas, and instead of it coming up through the house and concentrating inside the house where you could breathe it, we just essentially vent it to the outside, usually from the basement through maybe a sump pit or something like that. So we can mitigate it, but testing for it is important. There's no visual cue for whether you have elevated radon or not in your house. It's not going to smell different or look different or feel different, a lot like carbon monoxide maybe. So testing for it using specialized calibrated equipment over a period of time. The minimum test time is 48 hours, and that's typically the test time that we'll use in a real estate transaction because time is of the essence, as we all know. So we'll test the radon, and it'll give us a kind of a parameter of the highs and lows and then an average over that test period. And the EPA has set a standard of 4.0 picocuries per liter. It's a measurement of radioactive gas, but just think about it kind of like parts per million. So we've got these specialized calibrated machines. They take measurements every hour over a 48-hour period. It gives us that data and it tells us what the average is. If your average is below 4.0, the EPA basically says, hey, the radon is low enough that we're okay. It's not super concentrated inside the house. And if it's above 4.0, the EPA has set a marker that said, hey, we really should do something about this to try to get those radon levels down. And that's where a mitigation process would be appropriate. So that's basically the short and sweet of what radon is and what it's all about. Now, is it a concern for us? If you're watching this and you live in Maryland, Northern Delaware, anywhere in Pennsylvania, yes, radon is potentially a concern for you. And that's not to scare you, but the states accumulate data over time, and the average test, meaning of all the tests that we take, the average test in some counties like Harford County and York County and Lancaster County, the average test is actually over that 4.0. Some homes are really high, and it's very important to get mitigation performed. Some homes are lower. But radon is one of those things, because it's naturally occurring and it basically is coming from the ground. You may have elevated radon in your house, and your neighbor immediately next door may not. Vice versa, they may have elevated radon and you may not. But because there's no visual cues, and because of the potential for long-term exposure health concerns, testing for radon is fairly inexpensive, extremely painless, and something we think you should do.
Hey everyone, Ron Riccatelli, Regional Vice President, Cross Country Mortgage. After moving to Harford County in November of 21 to our forever home, I made it a point that I wanted to be able to reach the community in ways that no one else has done before. So I've made it my mission, as you are moving around Harford County for your children at different sporting events, from Cedar Lane to Soccer Factory to Harford Sports, C. Milton Wright, John Carroll, Maryland Sports Arena, Coppermine Complex in Edgewood, you name it. As you're sitting at the soccer field or the lacrosse field or even football field and the baseball field on the weekend with your child, there's a good chance you're going to see a sign from the Riccatelli team at Cross Country Mortgage. I've made it a priority to reach out to the community and support all of these local sports facilities in ways like no other. Giving back to the community has been a huge success for myself, my family, and Cross Country Mortgage ever since I opened my branch in 2022. So again, on behalf of myself and Cross Country Mortgage, if you happen to be sitting at a soccer field or a football field on the weekends, take a look up. You'll probably see a sign from myself and the Riccatelli team at Cross Country Mortgage. Mortgage rates being high are temporary. Let's talk about your future.
Who owns Hannah Road? I do. Okay, I'm gonna buy it from you. How much? 500. Okay, deal.
What in the Sam heck are you doing? You can't just buy a piece of property like that. Did you do a title search?
What?
Is there a mortgage to pay off? Are you even a good taxpayer?
What?
Is there tax liens? Was there forgery? Adverse possession of humanity? Listen, whenever you're buying or selling a piece of property, a piece of land, you need to hire a title company. What the title company does, it does a historical search on the property to make sure that the person who's trying to sell you the house is actually the person allowed to sell you the house. Along with that, we make sure that it transfers to you free and clear of any potential issues out there overhanging the property.
Oh, now I get it. Whenever you buy or sell a house, you need a title company. How about Acme Title?
Oh, Acme Title? Sure, I guess it doesn't matter what title company you use. Oh, and by the way, you wanted to play with my phone? There's my phone. What, you don't want to play with my phone? Why not? Because that phone stinks. It does matter what phone you play with, right? Just like it matters what title company you use. You should use Black Oak Title.
Yeah.
Black Oak Title represents its clients to make sure that they feel communicated throughout the whole process. So when they walk away from the settlement table, they feel confident in understanding what's going on and how to proceed moving forward after they settle on the house. After all, You're buying a house. It shouldn't be boring. It should be fun.
When my family buys, I'm gonna need Black Oak Title.
3 days later.
Ooh, Hannah Road. You want to say Hannah Road?
I do. $500.
Hello, Black Oak Title.